I mean, even though we stand alone, we stand together.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for landing. Fasten your seatbelts. Thank you for flying Air Force Airlines. Oh, me. Call me the captain. Just blaze.
They say a family that prays together stays together, and one that walks apart just falls apart. So together we stand, divided we fall, united we form Voltron and take on all. Let's move, yes. The birds left the nest. I'm all grown up, I gotta fly with the rest. Best of the best is what we strive to be.
You're watching Unpackaged Goods. I'm your host, Jonathan Dieter. Welcome back. So it's Tuesday night. We're back in the office. Still messing around with my mic setup. I think I'm going to do a little angled so when I'm looking at articles, maybe on the television, the computer screen, and then you can hear me like this. But it's Tuesday. We're starting this a lot earlier. Usually I start this at 9 o'clock. Usually there's football on. Right now we got the Australian Open. So if you know me, I love tennis. And so this time of year, my sleep schedule gets messed up because there might be a good tennis match on that comes on at 9 or 10 o'clock. And it goes till 1 or 2 o'clock. And tonight, a couple of my favorites are on. So Daniil Medvedev, he plays in an hour. So it's 8:30. No, that match doesn't come on until 9 or 10. So the irony of me starting this early. But just a lot of good buzz. It was a great week in CPG. And it was one of those weeks that I'm excited to be building in the space. It was really nice to have some friends, Sauce Revival, visiting. These two girls are from Columbus. If you're not familiar with them, they're creating a pre-probiotic chickpea sauce, buffalo chickpea. So if you like buffalo chicken, this is the sauce for you. It's actually out of this world. It's super mild, which I really like because I can't handle spice like I used to. And so being able to have something really mild, I throw it on mac and cheese. I've put it on pasta. I've put it on chicken wings. It's truly amazing. So it was so nice to meet them in person. They're so sweet and bubbly. And it was a nice group of founders. So it was myself. It was Wheezy's Grocer. It was G's Cheese. It was the Bite and Brownie Boys, Sauce Revival, and myself. So nice group of founders. We got to have a nice dinner at Rosemary's and talk about all things CPG. So it was then really cold, and it's been really cold. My dad said I needed to trim my snack plant. So I have some trimmings. I actually have a behind the scenes video. So maybe I'll put it at the beginning or at the end. You can see me trimming my snake plant. But if you would like a trimming, I think I have 5 or 6. I'm going to cut the bottoms, grow roots, and I'll replant it. So if you're local or even not local, I'll send you trimming. So spreading the love of my snake plants. So tomorrow morning, we're going to film an interview with Michael from Motif, Michael Zabar. We're going to talk about his coffee syrup and what growing up in an iconic New York City grocery store was like. Told me a couple stories, but it really sounds like it was something. So we're going to film it in the cafe, maybe go around the store a little bit. Hopefully the camera situation cooperates, and then I can just kind of do water like this and keep filming. So this whole week really felt like, before I dive in, what else do we want to yap about? Let me look at my calendar. The Gato girls will be, or maybe it's just Tanya. I've met Gabby. Wait, no, or have I met Tanya? Hold on, I'm blanking. Yeah, I met Tanya of the Gato girls. I have not met Gabby of the Gato girls. So I think Gabby's in town, maybe both of them. Tanya's amazing. They're both amazing, but I had a really nice chat with Tanya when I was in LA, in Venice. I went to this cute coffee. She came to meet me in the pouring rain before dinner. Really sweet. Her dinner was like, she had lots of time to spare. It was really nice of her. So yeah, I'm supposed to meet with Nicole from She's the South tomorrow, but she's got some restocked and it's just busy. So I think we're gonna do something Friday with Kiki at Sour Milk on Thursday, Brownie Boys on Thursday. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming up that I am working on. I'm excited to reveal that with due time. And felt like a busy week in news. I felt like when I was putting together the newsletter, whenever Tom Brady's in the news, there you go. So it's Tuesday, January 20th. This podcast is proudly seasoned by Trophy Wife, the official finishing salt of the Dieter Digest, because you are the prize and so is this salt. Alrighty, so I felt like this whole week was about category convergence, Beyond Meat, Koya, couple. We're gonna get into it, but so back. A lot of M&A mayhem, SpikedAde, like the spiked Gatorade, which is pretty crazy. If I still drink, like, yeah, I'm after out for a run and like one of the things going on a Saturday morning, like I see how SpikedAde is really fun. So we're gonna keep going. So NOBULL, they make, I've never owned any of their stuff. Really clunky looking no, they're not running shoes, workout shoes. And I've never owned any of it. Now they're pivoting into protein powder. This to me is a natural brand extension. I think if you sell athleisure, there's so much to tap into in the wellness space and the supplement adjacent space that why not have your own protein powder? And protein is, this was a conversation. So Rosen posted on his LinkedIn about how everyone was talking about how fiber was going to be the it girl for 2026. And it seems like protein is still dominating. And I agree with that. I that right now you're seeing the reactionary responses from a lot of brands from the end of last year saying, hey, we need protein soda. We add protein to this ingredient or this line that we've never done before. There aren't a lot of natural extensions going on because people are chasing people, and that's never a good sign. That usually is a recipe for disaster. And so, look, Tom Brady, people are going to buy this because of Tom Brady. Greatest quarterback of all time. He's good looking. People love Tom Brady. And so, I'm not going to try it. I'm not going out of my way for it. I get enough protein and food and other sources that I don't have protein powder. So, I'm going to clear protein though. It's the year of clear protein. If this would have been like a protein, I'd be like, oh, that's super smart. But that's beyond. So they're known for their fake meat, but they're launching. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so meat. This is crazy. So Beyond launched Beyond Immerse. So this is a plant-based protein beverage with fiber, antioxidants, and electrolytes. So let's just check every box. Only available through their website right now, or their D2C test kitchen, which tells you everything about confidence levels. They're not swinging at the fences here. This move seems strategic. I mean, they tap into a lot of trends in one. If you look at their stock price right now, let's spend. So Beyond Meat stock price. I think Google should have just been a little bit better with that. Tools. They're below $1, 93 cents. So for what was supposed to be the darling, oh my God. I mean, 2021, it was up at $125. I mean, fall from grace. So this to me seems like desperation. I don't think it's going to work. And it's probably why it's in their test kitchen. If you're not even Beyond Meat, I don't think you're going to go running for their soda that has every buzzword in it. So cool. I like the way the fruit looks like it's like splashing in some sort of liquid. But 10 protein, 7 grams of fiber, antioxidants, electrolytes. No, sounds disgusting. Maybe good. I don't know. Not for me. So yeah, this one is, look, I don't drink anymore, but you got to give credit where credit is due. This is genius. You know, he raised $10 million for SpikedAde, vodka-based, ready-to-drink that tastes like sport drinks. Do you know how many times growing up as a kid when I did drink, we used Gatorade as a mixer? All the time. It was the most natural mixer because you thought you were also hydrating. Like half the battle with drinking is that it dehydrates you. And so being able to hydrate yourself while you're drinking, 4.5% alcohol. I think maybe it's probably to hydrate and fuck you up. So you can't make these things like 10%, but I don't know. I'm not the beverage expert. So, just wait. I mean, give it to 12 months. I bet you see like a beatbox of this line where it's like SpikedAde, spiked, wild powder, maybe. Like, I don't know, work. You put your own vodka. They provide the electrolytes. Sure. So yeah, this isn't 2.0. Like, this is Gatorade nostalgia. And I just told you, like, it was the main mixer. So, really, I think this is like a kind of, if you will, like all the that are used to going out and golfing with their boys who are now dads, and they can't get like as fucked on the courses they used to. And they want to like I think that's something like this. Like, this is great for golfers, great for college campuses and tailgates. So, yeah. We keep going. Beyond Me, Hail Mary, crazy. So there's a lot of funding news, big funding news. And if you're not paying attention to this, it's like, whoa, VC headlines will happen. You're like, where did it come from? And it's like, well, you just missed it a year ago when they raised the money for the fund. So we're going to talk about it. The consumer investment firm led by former JAB chairman Bart Beck officially closed with $5 billion now under management. Portfolio includes Bioma, Amica, Eva NYC, No Man's Land's Beef Jerky, and Pet IQ. So when a JAB alumni raises $1 billion funds, the entire CPG ecosystem pays attention. So Bansk is betting big on beauty and wellness convergence, while traditional CPG gets disrupted from every other angle. Semcap, the firm behind Good Culture, been talking about them a lot. Aloha, Purely Elizabeth, they just raised $125 million. So their debut food and nutrition fund. So this is interesting. So after their Good Culture, $500 million exit to El Caterden last week, like, let's re-up. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum hot. And their track record speaks volumes. Good play with Good Culture. $125 million. You can do a lot with this. I think you can pick 5 winners to really support. Throw so much money at them. Maybe more. I mean, that's not 5 investments. Winners out of that, maybe 10, 15 investments, depending on how big their check size is, what they look for, where they like to come in. But capital intensive business. So smart money, it's following the smart money. They literally just minted a unicorn and they raised another fund. So you know food tech investing isn't cooling off soon. Cool? Yeah, some cap. They do a lot of what I say. Find a broken category, back rate operators, scale through superior execution. Some cap, if you're listening, talk. Alrighty, international expansion capital, Gutology. So this mineral toothpaste, this looks really interesting. Pretty branding too. So they raised 1.8 million pounds from active partners, Mercia Ventures, for a microbiome-friendly oral care. Wild Society Nutrition, founded by former UFC champion TJ Dillashaw. He raised $530K from an SEC filing. So the wellness economy is global. Investors are backing expansion. Moving on. So I love these good crisp chips. Whenever I'm in Whole Foods, it's like an instant buy. When it's like going through the self-checkout aisle and they're up, I'm like, boom. They're really good. If you like just like kind of better Pringles, and they are really good. Like the original that come in the red can. So this was an interesting acquisition. So Kroger. So they formed this partnership with Mid-Ocean Partners, private equity firm, and it's called M. Pearl Rock. And they're acquiring the Good Crisp company, undisclosed amount. And so Matt Berry's Better View chip brand, 20,000 doors across the US, Canada, and Australia, and the UK, sells to private equity. Pretty crazy. So when grocery giants partner with private equity to acquire brands that are already on their shelves, you know retail consolidation is accelerating. Kroger's essentially acquiring margin control simultaneously. Really smart. Pay attention to other big brands like this that are already on the shelf, big places. M&A is only heating up and getting hotter. It's getting hot, hot, hot. I got a little bit more in. It's a little bit earlier in the night. And so far, so good. So platform building continues. So Todo Verde, Tuyo, and Nemi, they just merged to form a Latina-founded food and beverage platform. So these chef-crafted seasonings, Mexican-inspired snacks, aqua fresca drinks, all under one roof. That makes sense, right? You guys are all working at one collective goal of making these Latina, Mexican-focused flavors and snacks mainstream. Like, row the boat in the same direction. Don't get against each other. I knew that once I started talking with my fucking hands, that shit was going to get messed up. And my camera said, oh, do I need to follow you? Idiot. So anyways, we're back. I didn't go too crazy, but don't catch me talking with my hands. You know that there's some camera problems coming then. Because this thing has a mind of its own, controlled by my hands. Oh, the only problem with having the TV here is I don't know what's going on. So it's probably distracting for people watching the video, but I don't care because my podcast, my office, my rules. Oh, silly goose. All right, we're just going to bang this out. Keep going. I'm undecided if I'm going to put the interview, like wait to put this out until tomorrow afternoon. I don't know. Edit the interview. I don't know. Figure it out. Alrighty. So Explorer Cold Brew, they acquired Savarista acquisition. So founder Casey Crane, he teased more deals to come. So they're building out their coffee platform. I think this makes sense. I'll have to get Andrew Hapner's thoughts on this. He's the coffee guru expert in CPG, has a cool background. Distressed asset plays. You have seen these at the grocery store. When you go to get chicken broth or stock, there's a difference. Not a big difference. You've seen Collagen and you've seen Kitchen Basics. They're just like boring old brands. So B&G Food is paying cash for Kitchen Basics and Collagen from Delmonico's bankruptcy filings. So their proceedings. I'm going to go like move this a little bit this way. Oh, there we go. This is so silly. Bone broth. Cooking stocks are distressed valuations. So Bone is having a moment. So if they can make it cool and they can do something with it, then I guess we'll see. I guess it's smart. $110 million for 2 recognizable brands. Why not? Juggernaut Capital Partners sold Go Raw to Indian Family Office USK after more than doubling the revenue since 2017. So when private equity exits to family offices, it signals category maturation. We've had enough here. No more margins to squeeze. Distribution domination. So AG1, they just seem to be dominating right now. So they conquered Costco earlier last May. Premium Greens powder launched nationwide at 640 vitamin shops. And so from DTC darling to mass market domination in record time. Whoa. I haven't had AG1. Don't plan on it. I want to interview, though, someone who like religiously uses one of these. I remember Mackenzie telling me, Charlotte's a big Greens girl. Just doesn't surprise me. If you take AG1 daily, I want to interview you and understand like why. No judgment. I just want to know more about it. So yeah, textbook channel progression, build brand equity through D2C, prove velocity at Costco, expand through specialty, dominate grocery. They're everywhere. So it's a good brand to follow. I think Grun's is kind of following their playbook. Misfits is it targets these looking bars. Yum. I don't think I have anything in my freezer for just, oh no. Maybe I'll go to that bodega down the street. I don't know. It's still early, but I've already taken Tony out for the night. And it's so cold, so icy here in New York. Poor guy, his little paws hurt with the salt and the ice. I was like, no, baby bear. All right. Should I just include that in the podcast, me belching? No. All right, so Misfits, they launched at 1,900 Target doors. Butcher Box hit 1,600 locations with 5 SKUs. FitJoy launched 9 products nationwide. So Target's really doubling down on this premium brand, food brands. Proving velocity beats margin in today's retail environment. So this was really interesting. So I fly American Airlines, and I don't think I've ever seen an NA beer on them. Some maybe, but Athletic Brewing just signed a deal with American Airlines. So super cool. Can't wait to see it in the wild. It launched at Ulta Beauty online and in stores. And yeah, a couple of regional power plays. Gruns. Hy-Vee, HEB, and Wegmans, Mala, Sauce, B, and BTR Nation went store-wide at Whole Foods. Just a lot of abbreviations and acronyms. Moving on. Product launches. So Frank, these cute little rosemary sea salt bars from the UK. Those look good. Koya launched protein sodas with 10 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber. Not trying you. That sounds disgusting. Prime dropped ultra-filtered protein shakes with 32 grams of protein sodas. Protein everything. The category is having an identity crisis and consumers loving it. It's going to continue to dominate this year. There's going to be protein everywhere, and it's going to continue to the point where people say, I've had enough. But people haven't had enough. That's the thing. Like, people get a kick out of this Beyond Meat thing. And people are going to go try it. And there's so much like consumer like curiosity that's going on. Like people just like see like, wow, fiber and booze and this. And like, I guess I got to go try it. So can't hate until you try. I love Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel Late Night. So he partnered with Guillermo Rodriguez. He had this really funny skit like in 2016 where he would go try to interview LeBron. And it was like when that like fat Facetune thing was on your phone and you'd be like, LeBron, get if I blew your face. So he teamed up with Ithaca Hummus founder Chris Kirby for Guillermo's exclusively at Northeast Costco's. I think there's a Costco out here. I should go check that out. I don't know where it is. Okay, we're almost done. I'm obsessed with Cheez-Its. I'll eat a whole box and I love Cheez-Its. And they launched a gluten-free line. So this is interesting because I think gluten is back and it's back to stay. I think people are like, anyways, before I started coughing, gluten's back. It's stay. But if you're gluten intolerant, I think it's, and you like want, I don't know, honest to God opinion, they've lived this long without Cheez-Its. I think that's something like really interesting too to think about. My friend Matt, who is lactose, and he's that way for so long, there are like just some things he's just accepted he doesn't like. And so like you box off these consumers, and I don't know. I'll be curious to see if this is successful. I don't think it will be. Joy Burst and their creatine soda. I'm a bit long creatine this year. I've started taking creatine. So far, I've liked it. Maybe I'll do a session on my supplements that I got, my vitamins and everything. So 2 grams of creatine per can. Sleep or Die launched dissolvable strips for people who forget supplements until bedtime. Me. So maybe this has like magnesium, L-theanine. Maybe I'll send some of these to Sally. She does not sleep with my stepmom. Nothing gets her to sleep. So no one's watched more foreign films with subtitles on than Sally. Lesser Evil and Primal Kitchen. They're collabing on a buffalo wing popcorn. Interesting. Sauce Revival Girls. You should be doing that with everybody. Beauty Chaos, Elf Cosmetics. Shout out to Elf. They subscribe to my sub. I don't care who it is, but if you subscribe to my Substack, you're gonna make my day. It's like, thank you. So Elf Cosmetics and Liquid Death collaborated again on balms. Personal Day, Lily Reinhardt skincare brand, hired Domalenzi as CEO after she scaled Live Tinted, Too Faced, and Tula. We got a big hitter in the CPG space. California Naturals expanded into body sense. Elm Biosciences unveiled A30 Elemental Night Cream. So yeah, CPG beauty brands are expanding faster than CPG founders can track up Julie on to get her to take on the beauty categories and where she sees the stuff expanding. She got me a great pair of PJs for, oh, Tony, is that you trying to come in? Come here. Hold on. Tony just woke up and realized he wanted to be in the office with my daddy. So, yeah, maybe Julia will come on. All right, let's wrap things up because I'm tired. It's 9 o'clock. This is pretty good. So the Data Digest, so new Primal, they hit $100 million. So Jason Burke's going to eclipse $100 million in sales in 2026. Their Snackmate line, targeting families and kids, was growing, or it is growing at 92% annual growth rate. I mean, I guess this makes sense. If mom and dad can have a snack and kids can eat it too, it's crazy. This is category disruption through segmentation. Instead of competing in crowded adult meat stick space, they said, hey, let's include the whole family and the kids. And I think that's going to be a really big play this year. If you're a brand that's able to capture mom and dad through the kids, or capture the kids through mom and dad, get the whole family eating it, consuming it, those are going to be the successful brands. Let's see. So they're Manitree, who was part of the Good Culture $5 million exit. Razzi, boxed wine breakthrough. I'm going to be careful with those hands there. So the brand finished 2025 as America's fastest growing boxed wine, selling 350,000 9-liter. That's a lot of boxed wine. Expanding into new markets in 2026. Let me see what else we want to touch on. There's some like international stuff. New Tonic launched in a bunch of stores. These 2 like meat sticks launched that brand. Trip secured some new funding from TTV after a $1 pound round at a $300 million valuation. The wellness economy is borderless. Innovation in London influences LA. British functional foods become American unicorns. Global expansion isn't optional anymore. It's inevitable. So, yeah. I'm going to decide if I want to put this out tonight. Wait to do the interview, chop, and then put it out Thursday. I don't know. So, yeah, 30 minutes is pretty good. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Please rate us 5 stars, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or YouTube. If you don't follow us on Instagram and TikTok, what are you doing? Also go subscribe to our Substack. So, yeah, I just love doing this. So, and I'm continue to love to do it even more. Excited to see where this goes. and we out.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
I'm glad we could do this.
Me too.
This is good fun. So for everyone who is new to you, where are we?
So my name is Michael Zabar. We are at the Zabar's Cafe. This is my family business on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in New York City. It's on 80th and Broadway. And yeah, we're here having a coffee. And
This is a beautiful part of town. So you were born and raised Upper West Side? Okay, wow. Okay, so all the way up here. What's your favorite thing at the National History Museum?
Great question. I had a lot of field trips there. I learned a lot about like human
I love that
evolution.
museum. Yeah.
Definitely the animal stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
The woolly mammoths, everything, like seeing what prehistoric animals were like was incredible.
Night at the Museum was like one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah.
Like I had then going and seeing it in real life. It's so much fun. So there's a lot of history behind this store.
Yeah.
Your great grandpa, he came to America from Ukraine, I think you told me.
Yep, that's correct.
And so tell me, like, how do you get into the grocery business?
Yeah.
Like immigrating in the US.
I mean, he came to the United States and wanted to provide for his family and started Zabar's. He actually had a few grocery stores, but this was the one that has lasted, and it's been here since 1934.
And it's got a charm to it. Like
yeah.
I haven't been inside since I interned on the Upper West Side, but it has like a cute New York City charm that like you don't really get with a lot of grocery stores anymore.
Yeah.
Now they're like really modern. They're like catering to the more like Gen Z, Gen Alpha consumer. This has a New York feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who think of this as being like a really synonymous with New York City. And
Yeah.
it's a very special place to a lot of people and very much like a New York institution.
Totally. And I see a lot of pictures on the wall, uncles. You were telling me a little bit about your uncle recently. So
Yeah.
great grandpa started it, and then like how many uncles do you have? Like brothers? Like tell me about like the whole kind of family that's involved.
Yeah, my great grandfather, Louis Zabar, came over here and started this business in 1934, like I said. He has 3 sons. This is the oldest. This is Saul Zabar.
So cool.
My great uncle, unfortunately, he just passed away in
Sorry.
October, but he was 97 and lived a great long life. And a big part
It's
of
a
that,
lot of
like,
babka for 7 years.
and a lot of coffee tasted. Like this is him.
This is so cool.
This is-
You see him like tasting the beans and smelling the beans.
This is him doing his cupping process that he did every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And this he made coffee like one of his projects and really grew the business to what it is. So
It's so interesting.
He's the main reason why Zabar's is so well known for coffee.
Yeah, and when people kind of wonder why coffee syrup, there's a long family history as to where the love of coffee came from.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when he started on this journey, was there a certain type of bean that he liked, a certain type of area throughout the world that he would get the beans from, or was he very exploratory?
He sources beans from all around the world. Like I grew up with we always had coffee from Kenya, from Colombia. Like there was really a great assortment of even like the Jamaica Blue Mountain was
Yeah.
another one that we had. Like there was a great assortment of different coffees from different regions for as long as I've known Zabar's coffee.
So you've experienced pretty elevated taste when it comes to coffee pretty much your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently took like a coffee class.
Interesting.
And everyone in the class was like, had to go around and say what their first coffee ever was. And I was like,
What was your first coffee?
And I was like, we make Zabar's pour over. Like, I didn't realize how weird it was that I pour coffee into the paper filter, like straight into the mug.
It's OG.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recently got a machine that like replicates all of that. So it's called an X Bloom Studio.
Okay.
And it's pretty high tech, but it like replicates the pour over, it shakes it, and like it's amazing.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I'll have to send it to you after
Yeah.
this. It's pretty cool if you like coffee. So it smells so good in here too. So all the bagels, you guys make those in-house, everything.
Yeah, bagels we make here. But then yeah, the coffee's the really big thing that like we roast it in house. And then I don't know if I mentioned this, but my first job 20 years ago was scooping coffee by the pound here at Zabar's.
Really? I knew you'd had like helped in the store, but so the coffee, scooping coffee was really the first occupation.
That was one of my first jobs here. Yeah.
I was just on the way here looking at, there was a video that the new mayor put out about like implementing this new program for high school kids finding summer jobs.
Oh, okay.
And some capper, I forget. It's really cool. He has like a towel on. He's promoting like kids, hey, like go help like in businesses that like, hey, will the state will or the government will, subsidize it. But kind of reminded me of like when I was a kid, high school jobs. And so yours was scooping coffee.
Yeah. I mean, my dad sent me to the middle school office the day I turned 14 to get my working papers so I could work here legally.
That's so good.
Yeah.
He's like, roll up the sleeves, like you're getting in.
Yeah, before that, I was like had days in here where I was like breaking down boxes and stuff like that. But
That's so good.
when I turned 14, I was put to work at the store, and one of my first jobs was scooping coffee by the pound.
I love it.
Yeah.
And a fun story and a picture that you have that you shared with me is you and all your brothers. You have a couple older brothers. And there was one day, huge snowstorm. Your dad was like, I need all of you. And it overlapped where all of you were able to come in at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty special. I think it's kind of cool to see you guys and the family heritage and history here.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that day? I know it's one of your dad's like favorite, most proud moments.
Yeah. So I mentioned we always were within walking distance of the store. And a big part of that is because like, if things go wrong, which in food they usually do, like you have to be able to get over the store, 7 day a week business, and like fix the problem. So if there was ever a blizzard, there were some times where employees couldn't take public transport to the store, and my dad would be like, "Hey, I need you guys to work the counters." So that picture specifically was 2011. It was Hurricane Irene, which didn't hit New York as hard as Sandy.
I was in Connecticut and we got like a lot of that.
But we got bad, severe weather. And that was the only time that I have 3 brothers, and it's the only time that all 4 of us worked in the store on the same day.
So good.
So that was 15 years ago. And that's been the background. That photo of the 4 of us in the store has been the background on my dad's phone ever since.
It's so funny. My dad has a random background of like my sister and I. It's so funny how parents pick that.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, do your brothers work in the food space, or did they decide to take different routes? Or are you the only one that's now trying to get into the family business and take your own path?
So I'm not the only one doing something in food. My oldest brother is a doctor, and I have another older brother. He's working here. He's been at Zabar's for most of his career.
I love that.
Yeah. And then my younger brother is a comedian, but
No way.
he had a period where he was managing the social media for Zabar's. He often is making content here.
Will we ever see him like on some of the local shows throughout the city?
Yeah, he performs in New York City. There even have been a couple comedy shows here. In the store, and he's performed in some of those too.
Have you guys ever seen the underground, overground pop-up comedian shows? They do like comic shows in random like places.
I think that's
like
all this one was. Yeah. So shout out to my brother Willie Zabar. He performs and has performed here at Zabar.
So cool. I've been to some of those, but never the one here. So that's so cool.
Yeah.
So that's what's fun, I think, about like New York City founders that grew up here, have some sort of family ties to the city, is like being able to spread your tentacles in different things like comedy, or your older brother working here, you now getting the syrup. I think it's all connected to kind of the story of your uncle, like first discovering beans and his love of beans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now, like when we're talking like your coffee, your favorite, what's your go-to order in the morning, or what do you make at home?
So interesting. Those are often like 2 separate answers.
Totally, right?
Yeah. So like a big reason why we started this business, my wife and I make coffee together 6 days a week at home. Usually it's like, it started out pretty simple, but then we were adding in cinnamon or vanilla bean paste and like ways to try to make it a little bit more interesting and
a little more fun, spice it up.
Yeah, make it flavorful, but and make it sweet, but not adding a ton of sugar to it. And then we started saying, okay, what else is out there to make coffee like this? We tried a lot of the syrups on the market, and we just felt like a lot of them were way too high in sugar, had too many artificial ingredients.
Yeah.
And then we just said, you know what, there has to be a better way to give people sweetness, give people flavor, but also not necessarily making any sacrifices on health and wellness.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Some of these are too sweet, or they're just too sugary, and you can tell instantly.
Yeah, and they just didn't fit with our lifestyle. So we decided it was time to start a business and start making our own syrups.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now that we're kind of on the syrup train, maybe you can tell us a little bit about, you launched recently with 4 SKUs. Now we have, which one do we have? The babka one?
Yeah, so this is the cinnamon babka syrup.
Very cool.
And this is a nice little nod to the Zabar's business, and mainly because Zabar's has a cinnamon babka that we wanted to replicate this flavor in our syrup. And so I literally went to some food scientists to help us with the formulation, and I dropped off one of these cinnamon babkas, and I said, how can we make a syrup only using natural flavors that replicates this taste? And I'm excited for you to try them side by side and let me know.
Me too.
Where
should I start? Should I start with the cinnamon babka and then go to the syrup? All right, cool.
Let's cut a piece of the cinnamon babka.
This is pretty epic.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so we're going to dive in here. So as I'm cutting this, what are some of your other favorites that you have in the store that I don't know, you'll pick up and bring home for you and your wife to enjoy?
It's funny you asked that. I literally have some black and white cookies over there.
I saw those. I love black and white cookies, so I was like, oh, he brought me a gift. I was like, how did he know?
Well, maybe after we're filming, I'll go pick some up for you.
My dad is obsessed with black and white cookies. And every time he comes to New York, he it's like mandatory stop at a bodega to get a black and white cookie. The cinnamon babka here, it looks amazing. It has like a really, it's very nice and moist.
And for anyone who's not familiar with cinnamon babkas, I almost describe them like a cinnamon roll, but without the frosting on top and in like rough form.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll take a sample.
You want a bite? Come here, I'll feed it to you. Come here.
Go on. We're filming, but you can come on in.
Come on. Here you go. Oh, I was going to give it right to you.
But you got to introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is Bill, and that was awesome.
You live on the Upper West Side, born and raised, local New Yorker?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
All right. I'm Michael Zabar, so nice to meet you.
Oh, wow.
And he's launching a coffee syrup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's your coffee order? Black?
What's it's usually with a little bit of almond milk or half and half.
Okay.
But so you're Saul's grandson?
He's my great uncle.
Is your grand? Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Saul really made the coffee business what it is today.
He certainly did.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so.
I've been enjoying him ever since I was a kid.
Love to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good on you for keeping it going.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's right.
All
It's
right.
pretty damn good. You want the rest of it?
Yeah.
Here you go. Here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I got the rest of it. Hey, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Cheers. That's great.
All right. So that's a nice little
There you go.
example of people who live in the area, love Zabars, and love any opportunity to have a little cinnamon babka from Zabar. So
that was
now
pretty-
that you tried it,
Okay,
Fan of
so
the pastry.
I'm gonna. There's a. Yeah,
come on in.
come on.
I think this is important.
Yeah, please.
In all my years in New York, I can tell you, even people who hate New York love Zabars. That's important.
I agree.
great.
Yeah.
Because
There are a lot of
if
people
you
like
hate
that.
New York, you're going to be hard pressed to come up with something you like about it. But then when people say, "What about Zabars?" they're like, "Oh yeah, that place."
Yeah. It's a special place. Yeah.
It's a nice addition. What was your name again?
Bill.
Bill, John, and Michael. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I actually like this better than the Bread's Bakery.
Okay.
Babka,
That's high
so,
praise.
yeah.
They're known as one of the best babkas in the city.
I know, and I'm a big fan of theirs. So if you haven't tried the Zabar Cinnamon Babka, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And so is Bill. That was amazing.
So yeah, this is one of our 4 flavors. We're also going to do a chocolate, a vanilla, and a pistachio, but this is definitely our most unique.
So now that I've tried the babka,
Yeah.
why don't I throw some in the coffee?
Go for it.
So I got a whole milk latte, hot, and how much do you usually recommend?
So we usually recommend 2 tablespoons
Okay.
as a serving size.
So I'm gonna do kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun part about the squeeze
hide
bottle
it.
too is it really gives
You know what?
people
I'm gonna-
that like precision of adding as much or as little sweetness and flavor as they want to their coffee, because a lot of the feedback we got from people is very quickly too much syrup can make their coffee too sweet, and we wanted to avoid that.
Ooh, whoa.
Are you getting any of the like pastry taste in the cinnamon?
Yeah, totally different dynamic from what I had just with the latte.
Okay.
It was just a boring latte. Now all of a sudden I'm getting notes of the cinnamon, the sugar that's coming through in a good way. It feels like I just had a pastry.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if in a 2 tablespoon serving, there's only 6 grams of sugar, so it's not.
It's not like too sweet.
Yeah.
Like I think with other syrups that I've had in the past, it's like I'll put some in, I'm like, oh, that was too much.
Yeah.
Or this is just too sweet and too sugary. That's like a nice balance. I'm not just saying that because you're here.
Yeah.
Like that's a really nice balance. Like
And to the sweetness, that's a lot of feedback that we got from customers was there are a lot of people who don't touch syrups because they're too high in sugar, they have too many artificial ingredients.
Right.
Or they'll get them occasionally as like a sweet treat at a
Yeah.
coffee shop, but that's because they know they're gonna
a
get
sweet treat.
they're gonna get 4 pumps of syrup in it. It's gonna have like 80 grams of sugar. They're gonna have a sugar crash later in the day. And they're like, I can do that occasionally.
Those pumps are intimidating
Yeah,
too. Like those
yeah.
things have some like distance, and like whenever I see the pumps, I'm like, that just screams to me unhealthy.
Yeah. And so a lot of people, there's a crazy statistic that like 80% of coffee drinkers in America modify their coffee in some way,
I can see that.
but it's usually with milk and sugar or creamers. And then there's a small percentage of people who like, it's like 7% use syrup. But
Crazy.
I was stunned. I was just like, people want sweetness, people want flavor.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't just want bitter black coffee, and they want to add some flavor and sweetness, but they're really turned off by the syrups.
That's
and
really,
so that's
really
why I was
good.
like, I want to make something that like I said, was sweet, flavorful, but like wasn't going to give you that sugar crash.
It looks really nice too. I feel like if I saw this at like a coffee shop, like I wouldn't be intimidated by putting this in my coffee. I think some of them, or not know what I'm putting in my coffee. Some of them are like unlabeled. They're kind of like, what is that syrup that's standing over there on the coffee table? So I think this is pretty. This is inviting.
Yeah,
This is like builds trust with the consumer.
We cared a lot about from day one having
Nice
like
bottle,
a great
too.
brand, great design, being really design forward, and so we're really happy with how the brand came out.
This is good. All the gooey, swirly goodness, the cinnamon babka, no fork required.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, you guys did a really nice job. I love the little ode to Zabars and your little like mini story here.
Yeah, there's a little blurb on the back of the bottle that just talks about having worked in this business, grown up here, and 20 years ago scooping coffee, and that was kind of how I first fell in love with coffee and really learned what a quality coffee looks like.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like fun. It's a fun process to go through. It's like a journey.
Yeah.
So as you're starting on this journey, you just launched the company. Congrats.
Thank you.
Launched your waitlist pre-sales. So people were able to pre-order your bottles. Got 2 bottles I'm super excited about.
Okay.
Excited to try the vanilla then too. What's next? Are we going to find you on shelves? Are we going to see you in coffee shops? What is your vision for Motif?
Okay, it's funny you ask about vision because I've been like so just kind of like singularly focused on getting to this point of
It is.
getting
It's
a
hard.
recipe, getting our website launched, and like getting product made and getting
Yeah.
it into people's hands. And now we're like finally here, and it's like, oh wow, there's other stuff. There has
There's
to be
other like parts of the business that gotta grow.
exactly. But right now, our biggest thing is, like you said, we've gotten a bunch of pre-orders.
Yep.
But we're still ramping up production, so it's getting product manufactured and being able to start fulfilling those orders and shipping out the product to people.
Got it.
And then I've gotten a little bit of feedback from friends and family, but really starting to understand like what do people think.
Yeah.
All the feedback I got from other food founders was like, get a product out there. It has to be good, but like
Try it.
don't make it perfect because
you're gonna change it.
half of my assumptions on what I think someone wants in a cinnamon vodka could be totally wrong. Like
Totally.
or if I think it's the right level of cinnamon, my wife thinks maybe there could be a little bit more cinnamon. Maybe there's some people that think that's just too cinnamony.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the real. I was just really focused on getting this product made and getting to market and start getting that feedback because that's where the learnings come from.
Yes.
That's where I start really understanding like what is that product that people want and who is my customer. So
Totally. And I think you can get lost as a founder in that kind of like trying to make it perfect phase.
Oh, absolutely.
If you just spin your wheels forever, like being like, I need this to be perfect, you'll never get a product out to market.
Yeah.
And then you'll never like you go through the feedback. And that's the most important part is that feedback loop of like, hey, now I need to test it. I need to get my friends' feedback, my parents, my family, my other food founders and beverage founders. And so I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
I think the feedback part is fun because now you get to dial in, okay, what parts of the recipe do people like? Is this too strong? Is this too sweet? Is this like, and I think that's exciting. And any new flavor, maybe ideas or directions, or do you really kind of want to hone in on these 4 and see where these will take you?
we do have a few we're thinking about, but like you said,
Fun.
we're really trying to. We have these 4.
Yeah.
We want to get feedback on them.
Yeah.
We want to refine those. We'll figure out what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And also, I want to take feedback from customers. Like, I want to
important.
start asking people, hey, what do you want to try next? Like,
Yeah.
because syrup's an interesting one where there's a lot of talk about certain like seasonal flavors and everything. But
Yeah.
really wanted to ask my customers, like, hey, you like the cinnamon vodka? What do you want to see next?
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited for you to kind of get that. I love the cinnamon babka. I'm excited to get the vanilla. Will you be in Zabar's? Will we be able to find you here?
So Zabar's, the plan is to have this be, this is going to be the first retailer that we sell out of. And also we're still working out the details, but I'm thinking next Saturday, the 31st, I may even be behind the counter. And when people order their coffees, I'll ask, hey, do you want to try a little syrup? And
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe, hey, I'll YouTube and Spotify. It's called Unpackaged Goods. Yeah. My man Bill's a legend.
yeah, Bill just hopped right in. He was
was-
he was ready to be on camera.
He wanted to be on camera.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was like moments like that like make me really appreciate living in New York.
Yeah.
It's so special. Like his perspective on Zabar's, I think like really just to tell it all for everyone. It's like, yeah, even if you hate New York, you love Zabar's.
I mean, I've even met people who have never been to the store. Maybe they grew up in New Jersey or Long Island or Connecticut, but
Yeah.
they would get Zabar's food
Yeah.
for family holidays and stuff. And
It's iconic.
and there's just such a special association with with family, with tradition, with holiday, with culture. That
Yeah.
there's some people get really excited about it, and they may have even never been in the store.
So cool. That's so cool. I'm excited for you to, share in that same kind of specialness with Motif. And you have such a cool background. You worked at Walmart for a little bit. You have kind of a different angle of working at big corporation, big retail. How do you think that you also got your MBA, so you have kind of like this perspective that you're bringing into CPG that I think is super valuable. What has CPG taught you that you could have never learned at business school or working at, in retail before?
Man, the logistics and the operations of it all. You hear about supply chain, you hear about product development, you hear about how they're hard and how things go wrong.
Yeah.
It's not until you talk to other founders and live it yourself that you realize it's like everything that could go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And like social media, I think there's some founders who give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. But
not all.
They make it all seem glamorous on the surface, but there's every day there's different problems that come up, and it's just
good job at building in public. And I think you've done a really nice job at sharing updates on kind of like, hey, here's what's going on with Motif, or like here's some of the challenges we've run into. And I think that vulnerability is how consumers build trust.
Totally.
At the end of the day, they say, hey, I'm also struggling with these problems like he is, but you know what? He's putting himself out there, and I want to also put myself out there and try the product. And so I admire that. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. So keep it up. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
I think that's what customers want. People want transparency. They want to know that there's only a handful of ingredients on the label and what those ingredients are. They want to know how the sauce, or in this case, the syrup, is made.
Where it comes from, and like exactly in that process, and they want to build trust. And I think for you, there's like over 100-year history of trust that's been built in this space through your family. And so I think now that people get to build that trust with you through that syrup is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting. And just like little interactions with Bill, like you can see like there is a certain association with the Zabar's brand. And I think that people are going to fall in love with Motif in the same way.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Zabar's is synonymous with quality.
that's right.
And I wanted to honor that.
Yeah.
And do my own thing and start my own business. But like with these flavors, with a focus on quality, with building that customer trust, really wanted to honor the family business in that way.
I love that. Okay, so born and raised Upper West Side, you must be a Yankees, Giants, Rangers fan?
Mets. My dad is from Queens.
Oh, there's the Mets.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Mets fan. Giants, Rangers, Knicks are probably my top.
Oh, and Knicks. Yep.
So they're a little bit of a low right now, but it's just a bad stretch. But this is like the most exciting the Knicks have been
it's been
35 years.
That NBA Cup game against the Spurs that they ended up winning was unbelievable.
Yeah,
like high level basketball. I love Brunson. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So there's nothing like a game at the Garden. It's truly special. Maybe we'll see Motif at the Garden. Who knows?
We'll see. That gets me in. The tickets are expensive.
Right. That's a great way. I always think about that when I go to the stadiums. Like they should have more selections of like local founders. I think they tried something at the Ryder Cup out on Long Island where they had like a little CPG section of like local founders. And there were some companies that were there, but I think the arenas could do a better job spotlighting brands because those are your target consumers. So
I think they do a good job with some of the food service and the restaurants.
That they do a great job.
Yeah,
with.
like some of the
local like restaurants and bringing them in as vendors. Like I do love that.
Totally. Yeah,
I think they
but
do
I agree.
an awesome
Like from a
job.
brand
Barclays
perspective.
is great too.
Yeah.
But so from a brand perspective, all right. So Harbaugh, you think he's going to be the answer to all your woes?
I mean, I don't think there's a silver bullet. But I'm very excited for him to be the coach of the Giants. He just brings so much credibility. He's won a Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
He regularly brought his team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that culture is just something that it seems like the Giants have been lacking.
It's just
I talk like I'm an analyst. I'm definitely just repeating what I've heard on ESPN. but as far as hires go, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets. I know. I would tend to agree.
Yeah,
like
I'm a big fan.
The orange really pops. You can see maybe we're the orange inspiration for orange. But
funny you say that. I tried to make sure I didn't
wasn't the same.
Use too much orange because I want this to be distinct from Zabar's.
Yeah.
But this is the flavor color we chose for the cinnamon vodka, but then each label for each flavor is different, a different color. So, but yeah, I think Eric is the designer here at Zabar's. He did a phenomenal job of
so good
designing these cups.
I'm so hungry just looking at it. I love like pastrami, matzo ball soup. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so legendary. So I got a latte with whole milk. This is usually my order when I'm out and about. In the summer, springtime, I switch to like cold brew. an iced coffee, maybe a little bit of whole milk in there. Nothing crazy, nothing special. I recently got this X Bloom Studio coffee machine that like I can do a bunch of different recipes, and it's very unique pour overs. But why don't we talk a little bit about like your favorite recipe? I'll tell you a little bit about mine. Some of my favorite coffee shops that I like to go to. Now that I'm out in Brooklyn, I'm like exploring, and I think I need to be more adventurous because the latte is kind of boring. Just a latte with whole milk is nothing too super special about it. I think this is one way to add a little bit of flair to it. I've also been using finishing salts in my coffee.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so there's a company called Trophy Wife. Shout out to Sakisha. She has a mocha finishing salt.
Awesome.
And so I'll add that to my coffee, and that's actually incredible. Maybe like a collab idea or like potential long term. But yeah, so I think like ways to spice it up is fun. I find it like also adds a little bit of personalization to my
Absolutely.
routine. Like it's like, this is like what I do every morning. This is mine. This is fun. And I like that. And so I think for me, like, I think I see Motif sitting on my counter next to my coffee machine because I think when I get done in the morning, I'm going to want to throw a couple squeezes in there, maybe throw some of my finishing salts in, maybe a little bit of milk, and I have my drink.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, if you're a product launching in CPG, if you can get integrated in a consumer's routine, game over. Like you are going to stick.
And that's, I mean, most people are drinking coffee at home already. And that was one of the things we wanted to do. It's like, how can you add a little creativity, add a little flavor, add a little sweetness, but like remove those barriers to make it easy to spice up your coffee or to like make a coffee shop quality drink from the comfort of your home.
It's hard to go to a cafe anymore and like spend like $8-9 on a large coffee.
Oh, absolutely.
It almost hurts my stomach sometimes because I'm like, oh, like I could have done this at home. I could have done it better. I could have, made it more fun. So I think that we're seeing a shift in that trend. Some people, yeah, they still want their little like sweet treat or their fix, but I'm seeing it like less as like at the coffee shop going to buy and more like doing it at home, doing it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the origins of this. It's like my
Yeah.
wife and I, once a week on the weekend, we go out for a pastry and get an oatmeal cappuccino.
Yeah.
And that was like our go-to coffee order. But most days of the week, like you said, it's cheaper to be making it at home. And we were doing that most days. But we really wanted to make it ours. And we wanted to make it fun. And we wanted to make it sweet and flavorful. And one of the things I'm trying to figure out with this brand and why I want to talk to more customers is like, what is preventing you from making that favorite coffee shop drink of yours from home? Is it this, that you stay away from having those syrups at home, but you like that flavor and you want to have that at home? Is it a technique? Is it like some people might not be comfortable frothing the milk to make a latte like this?
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily need a fancy espresso machine with a steamer wand to do that. Like you could potentially do that with a hand mixer and froth milk that way.
Totally, exactly.
Or maybe it's a piece of equipment. So that's what I really want to talk to customers about is understand, like you have your coffee routine at home and you have your coffees at your coffee shop. What is that one or two things that's keeping you from being able to make that coffee shop drink from home? And how can I help you do that?
I like that. And I think you could do a fun little series like interviewing other CPG founders about like, tell me about your coffee recipe or your morning drink and like,
Totally.
Here's how we can change that. I think too, like it's the personalization of it. And it's like there's a health element to it. So you didn't mess around when it came to ingredients and you didn't want to put something out there that was just like everything else, too sugary, too sweet. So maybe just very quickly, just for the people who aren't with us, talk us through just the label, because this is, I don't want to say good for you, but it's about as clean as it can get.
Yeah, exactly. And we tried to, we're only using natural flavors, never any artificial flavors, artificial colors, artificial preservatives. There's actually no preservatives in this product.
There you go.
So you do have to refrigerate it once it's open, but to avoid any kind of bacteria growing. But otherwise, like we want to make this clean. We want to have minimal ingredients in here. Like you said, we're not claiming that this is good for you, but we just saw what was out in the market, and
you can tell when something's too sweet.
Or like just too many grams of sugar. And people are really coming around to realizing that we want to have our indulgences, but we need to find ways to minimize overdoing it with the sugar.
Exactly.
And then a lot of the feedback I got from when I was first interviewing and surveying people was they were just like, the things they dislike about syrups are the sugar, but also artificial flavors and artificial colors. And those are just like a no-go from the day one. We're like
100%.
Yeah.
like, how are you supposed to give those like to your kids? Like, I'm sure like parents would feel comfortable giving this to like, not the kids that are having coffee, but like, you know what I mean? It's like this, you feel comfortable giving this to anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, I literally had a Zabar's employee come up to me when I told him about this idea this morning, and he was like, "You guys should start like putting this on pancakes." And I was like, "Yeah, like there's so many fun applications of this, whether it's coffee, tea, baking, sodas, cocktails,
The
ice
sodas
cream."
is a great. Those like
Yeah.
they call them the Mormon sodas because they have all those. If you're a Bravo fan, they have all those like soda places out in Utah because they can't drink and they all use a bunch of
Because
syrups.
of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that show, right?
There we go.
The number of people when I mentioned that I was starting a syrup company that were like, "Have you watched the show?" I think it popularized swigs.
It
and those,
did, and there's a
those syrup
place in
places.
Seaport actually that's called Cool Sips or something Sips, and they're like one of those soda places with
Yeah.
the syrups. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's
I
a
can
lot of cool
definitely see
applications.
it.
We're like, our marketing and branding is speaking to the coffee and tea consumer, just because like you said, it's like it's part of everybody's everyday and their rituals, and we want to figure out like how we can improve those for you and help you along that journey.
And that's the fun part.
But there's a lot of fun other applications that you can use the syrups for too.
Oh yeah, and I think other fun brands you could collab with to raise awareness. Other coffee brands maybe that you could collaborate with to do specials that are on a menu somewhere at a cafe where you're highlighting, another CPG brand.
Yeah.
I've tried a couple. There's a good coffee brand that this rotation had pop up called Groovy Coffee.
I've seen their packaging. It's really fun.
It's groovy.
Yeah.
So it was good. Kind of like a holiday blend.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. It was really good though. But yeah, the syrup would be a good addition. It was
I
missing a
think
little
so.
something. So
Yeah.
syrup would be a nice little addition.
And
So
a lot of food service places and coffee shops, like they're looking for signature drinks to bring more customers in.
well, and like this would do great in like office scenes. Think about how much coffee people in offices are drinking a day.
Yeah.
And think about what their options are.
It's not great.
It's just like black, like maybe like they have those in espresso pods, or maybe if it's a nice office, they have a machine.
Yeah.
But then like maybe some salt and sugar packets.
Yeah, and with return to office, a lot of people are in the office 4 or 5 days a week.
Ton. It's a big movement.
And like you said, a lot of them, their coffee options aren't great, or the coffee options are fine, but then the sweetener options are old school. So
There's a lot of different angles that you can take this. Not just D2C, not just retail, food services, corporations. So I'm excited for you.
I'm excited to explore and experiment with
Yeah.
those different channels. It's just one day at a time.
Got someone when I was first starting on my journey in the CPG space was like, you can't jump from A to Z, and you got to go from A to B. You got to go to A to AA to AC, and then you eventually make it to B and then to C. And you can't skip any steps. So I'm excited to see you just along this journey. See how I can support you on this journey. It's really fun. This has been a blast. Thank you so much for taking the time for me.
Yeah.
So those of you, go follow Michael on Instagram, TikTok, wherever else you get your socials. Anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
Yeah, if you want to learn more about Motif, our social handles on Instagram, TikTok is Brew Motif. And we have pre-sale live on our website, which is also brewmotif.com. So come check us out, look at our products. We have some recipes, some blog posts on there too, if you want to.
Some ideas to get you started.
Yeah, well, our first step towards helping you make a better cup of coffee at home. So that's what we're trying to do and trying to help you with.
I love it. Well, this was Unpackaged Goods with Michael Zabar out in the wild at Zabar. So thanks, brother. This was good fun. Appreciate you.